March 12, 2021. President Joe Biden on Thursday offered a plan to lift the country from crisis using a pair of upcoming dates, May 1st, by which he will order states to allow all adults to receive vaccines, and July 4th, when he said Americans can again celebrate Independence Day in person. The deadlines offered distinct timeframes for frazzled citizens looking for a sign that the worst year in recent memory is receding.
I want to talk about the next steps we're thinking about. First, tonight, I'm announcing that I will direct all states, tribes, and territories to make all adults, people 18 and over, eligible to be vaccinated no later than May 1.
Denmark, Norway, Iceland, and now Thailand have suspended the AstraZeneca vaccine over blood clot concerns. While the Danish suspension is expected to last 2 weeks, Norwegian authorities did not immediately provide a timeline for the review of the vaccine. Concerns were first prompted by a case in Austria of a person who was diagnosed with blood clots and died 10 days after vaccination. At least 3 other people who received AstraZeneca vaccines from the same batch also developed serious conditions.
Stade, ni l'Europe, ni la France, ni l'Allemagne, je m'en suis entretenu avec le ministre allemand de la Santé tout à l'heure, ne considèrent qu'il y a un surrisque qui soit avéré. Donc vraiment, on surveille, on observe. Si la situation devait évoluer, évidemment nous prendrions des décisions, mais à ce stade, il n'y a pas lieu de suspendre la vaccination.
Hospitals in Brazil are buckling in the absence of a national virus plan. For the last week, Brazilian governors sought to do something President Jair Bolsonaro rejects. Cobbled together a proposal for states to help curb the nation's deadliest COVID-19 outbreak as of yet. The final product, presented Wednesday, was a one-page document that included general support for restricting activity, but without any specific measures. 6 governors, evidently still wary of antagonizing Bolsonaro, declined to sign on.
Vocês não ficaram em casa. Não se acovardaram. Nós temos que enfrentar os nossos problemas. Chega de frescura e de mimimi. Vamos ficar chorando até quando? Temos que enfrentar os problemas. Respeitar, obviamente, os mais idosos, aqueles que têm doenças, comorbidades. Mas onde vai parar o Brasil se nós pararmos?
An executive order issued Wednesday evening by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis appears to end local fines related to COVID-19 restrictions. The order applies to fines local governments issue to people and businesses related to COVID-19 between March 1st, 2020 and March 10th, 2021. The governor issued the order after the Board of Executive Clemency adopted his proposal to remit the fines. A judge on Thursday granted prosecutors' request to add a third-degree murder count against former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, charged in George Floyd's death. Judge Peter Cahill reinstated the charge after the former officer failed to get an appellate courts to block it. Cahill had earlier rejected the charge as not warranted by the circumstances of Floyd's death, but an appellate court ruling in an unrelated case established new grounds. Jury selection resumed Thursday for the 3rd day as attorneys grappled further with the challenges of seating an impartial and diverse jury in such a high-profile case. Domestic travelers will no longer be required to quarantine after entering New York from another U.S. state or U.S. territory starting April 1st. While no longer required, the NYS Department of Health still recommends quarantine after domestic travel as an added precaution. Mandatory quarantine remains in effect for international travelers. All travelers must continue to fill out a traveler health form, and individuals should continue strict adherence to all safety guidelines to stop the spread.
The introduction of the virus from outside has been one of the biggest and toughest X factors in this whole crisis, and something we worry about very much going forward.